Okay.
All right, let's go to any questions or comments.
All right, Tim Drinkwater has a question. He asks, what strategies would you recommend for pairing blog posts with video content?
Pairing blog posts with video content. Great question, Tim. Shout out to Tim. He is awesome, coming in from Janesville, Wisconsin, my old stomping grounds back when I had less gray hair. Pairing blog posts with video content. I think that, so a couple things. Number one, if you write a blog, you can turn that into a video. And if you have a video, you can turn that into a blog. So I feel like they go hand in hand, one over the other. As far as pairing them together, you can, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, pairing them together, but I think that that's what you mean, is how can you make them work together? And it's kind of like this is a process that we used to have. So we used to have something back in 2018, 19 called vlog, V-L-O-G, to blog. So we would create a video, and then the writing team here would take that video and turn it into a blog form and change the content around and make it more fancy with graphics and stuff like that. And they would make a video out, or a blog out of a video. And that's a way to double down on the piece of content. Then from there, if you chop up the video, you can at least get 10 to 15 short pieces of content. If you chop up the blog, you can at least get 10 to 20, 30 different pieces of content from it. So with one piece of content, you can have it in your entire ecosystem to create so many different things. And even still, with that same piece of content, if it's a good value-rich subject and it's authoritative, you can take some of that content and put it on your website for a web page. So it can start with the triangle, right, of the single piece of content on top, video or article. And then from there, you just keep on chopping it up and you get more and more and more pieces of content. So I think that's what you mean by pairing it together. If you didn't mean that, then have a follow-up question so I can understand it.
I do have a question from Sai. She says, what are customer-centric approaches that have proven effective in industrial marketing?
Sai coming with that fresh out of college, polished professional question on a Thursday afternoon. Just hitting with that. Customer-centric approaches that what convert?
That have proven effective in industrial marketing.
Yeah, so I feel like obviously everything has to be customer-centric in everything. Like that used to just be a thing, like, oh, this one we're going to be customer-centric, or our About Us page we're going to be customer-centric. Everything has to be customer-centric, because you have to be focusing on what does that customer need, want, or deal with on a daily basis, and then provide them with something that first says, hey, I understand you, I know what you're dealing with, I've dealt with it too with companies like yours, and here's our solution, or here's the solution to your problem. But things that are going to convert the most is just, honestly, it's like guides and things like that. Those customer-centric type things. We have two clients. One of them had a calculator, one of them had a guide on their website, getting massive hits. But for one of the clients, it was getting hits by everybody, like around the world. Totally messing with the analytics, even putting filter-ins based on country, based on IP, based on state. Still, their Google Analytics was showing like their traffic was so good, but there's a lot of fluff in there. So you have to take out everybody that landed on this page, their calculator, remove it from it. So it got to the point where they said, we want it down. So we went back and removed the calculator from their site and hid it. And then they were like, actually, can you bring it back up and allow it to be client-facing, but we're going to put it in a different area so it's not readily accessible for everybody in the world to use. We even tried doing it where it's like behind not a paywall, but like an email wall where you have to put in your information to get access to this calculator, because it's highly valuable. But that's what people want, is they want tools and resources that allow them to do their job more efficiently, better, and look good for their boss. If you can provide them with anything like that, you will have their attention for as long as you keep producing that content. Just like this content. A lot of times I feel like I do provide the audience with a lot of good content, good value. Sometimes I don't, depends on who you are. But I've got people that have been watching this for years, because I'm trying to always put myself in their shoes and say, what is it that they would like to know about? What is it that they would get value out of? Let's produce a piece of content and see how it hits.
And Tim followed up. He said, Kyle got to what I was thinking. We've been writing blog posts to help with live topics and talking points.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim. So you can start the blog post. Like if you guys don't have the resources to do videos or the capacity or the time, switch over to written content. You can do that at any point, right? You can do that at night, weekends, etc. Or just take that written content and turn it into a video. And you can kind of script it yourself, right? You can put the blog, if you're talking about something, put it right next to it and just speak it and record yourself talking about it. And you never know, that might work well for you guys. All right, guys, hopefully you got value out of that. Hit subscribe below, turn on notifications. If you want to, head over to LinkedIn and give me a follow. If you want to listen to this in podcast format, head over to every major podcast platform and type in Industrial Sales and Marketing with me, and I'll see you on the next one.